And welcome back to my channel, girls, guys, ladies, gentlemen, cats, and donkeys. What's good? It's me, your boy, with a new what if actually. As you can see from the title and the thumbnail, it's what if Deku was taken by Overhaul. And you're like, take him, why would Overhaul take him? You'll see. I'm gonna explain, Deku will have three quirks. I will explain like one of them is like a version of one for all, except uh, it's like an it's actually like one for except he don't get the extra quirks. That's pretty much it. Other than that, same. So let's get to it. Pretty much, Deku's born. His dad leaves because he's a deadbeat, as any anime protagonist's father is. You got a deadbeat dad or dead parents. It's either or. And so pretty much everything goes the same until he's 4 years old. That's where things start a big change. Deku has three quirks, so he goes to different quirk doctor, and he's like, "Oh man, I got excited news for you. Actually, it's your son is a special case because he doesn't he has a quirk, but not only one, he has three quirks." And even Inko's like, "Really, three quirks? What? What are they?" It's like one. It's called Infinity. Kind of like your boy Gojo's. Uh, so you can create a space between anything around him. So like anything surrounding him, he could create an infinity space between them. So it's not impossible for him to get hurt or touch or none of that if he controls it. But let's say someone stronger than him goes against him, he can go through. Basically, that's like the catch. Like it. So let's say he faces All Might right now. All Might will break through it like easy. You know, and the second one is called elemental manipulation. So he can control lightning, wind, fire, and earth. And Deku's like, really? Oh, that's kind of cool. He can create, manipulate into anything he wants. He can control it. And it kind of gives him immunity. But if he uses it for too long, like it's so if anybody attacks him with the elements, it won't really too much to him. But like if Deku uses the elements for too long, he'll start to feel it unless he trains his body to get more used to it. And he'll eventually be immune to it. And the third is the enhancement quirk. It's kind of like one for all except he don't get the extra quirks. And that's it. And he can't pass it down. That's pretty much it. It's just an enhancement quirk. Also, there's two quirks, and he's like, yeah, so man, he can is gonna be an amazing hero someday, as I can see from his story. He is holding all my. It's like, yes, I can be a hero. And he's like, I would suggest one thing though, man, is probably tell him to not say he has three quirks, at least not yet, because little kids tend to not be jealous. What I'm saying is like it's probably best you just tell him he has one quirk. That's pretty much it. And that's later on he can reveal he has three quirks. For now, probably the best to do one quirk. That's what the doctor said. And he's like, you're right, because you could tell like little kids could be jealous or like that. He doesn't. It could get a lot of attention, which a little kid doesn't need right now. Like they know what it could happen to it. Like it gets so much attention. Even like yeah, and he's gonna end up being like Katsuki. So that's pretty much it. Uh, so they leave, and Deku's excited. His mom like, oh, it's like mom, I can't wait to be a hero. Like, oh my, it's like yes, honey, I can't wait for you to be a great hero too. But can you just make sure you only say that you have one quirk? But he's like, why, mom? Look, kids are very interesting things, and they're gonna tell everybody, and you're gonna have a lot of people bother you over your quirk. And while that's good, I don't want you to be overwhelmed out of the young age. Like just listen to me, Izuku. Look at my eyes. Look into my eyes. Like just say you have one quirk for me, please. He said, okay, mom. I'll just say I have one quirk. So he goes back to school the next day, and everybody asks, "Oh, Deku, what's up? Like, did you quit your quirk? What's your quirk?" And all that. Kacha, listens like, "Yeah, yeah, Izuku, what is your quirk?" He's like, "Oh, it's called elemental manipulation. I can control elements. Like fire, wind." Is like, "Wow, your quirk is so cool. That you can use all that. Wow, that's amazing." He starts to get praise. And Bakugo starts getting jealous that Deku's getting all the favorite baddies. Well, not baddies, but all the girls are giving him the attention, and he's not getting none. He's like, "What? Well, why the girls not getting me? I should get the attention. It should be me. Like, it's me, Bakugo, the number one future number one hero." He's like, "Oh, well, Kachan, I want to be the number one hero, so we can't both be number ones. You could be number two, Baka." It's like, Deku, just my quirk is better than you. It's like, whatever makes you feel better, Kachan. Whatever makes you feel better, you know. So everything goes, him and Kachan's friendship starts to change here, because instead of Kachan being a bully, they start to they're friends, but Deku is starting to distance himself a little bit more from Bakugo, because he's like, yeah, he's a bit of a bully, and by bit he means a lot. He's like, yeah, I don't know if I want to hang out with Bakugo so much if he's gonna be acting like that. I'm not gonna ignore him and stop being friends with him, but I'm gonna just be over here. He could be over there, and if he needs to talk or anything, I'll be there. But yeah. So at this age, he's elementary. He's at the playground, and they're at recess, playing around. When he accidentally bumps into this girl, because Deku is reading. He's reading his hero book, and he bumps into a girl. He's like, he looks up, and it's this girl with blue hair, blue eyes, and she's older than him. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know I was looking." He bows down. He's like, "Oh," he's like, and, he extends his hand picture. He's like, "Oh, it's okay. I wasn't really paying attention too much either. By the way, my name is Nezra, huh?" And he's like, "Oh," he smiles. He's like, "My name is Izuku Midori. Nice to meet you." And she's like, "Oh, what you got there?" And he sits, because they're like next to a little table. He sits down. He's like, "Oh, I'm kind of writing some notes down on heroes and their quirks, and what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are, their fighting style, all of that, how they can upgrade their quirk. It's like, and all of this for, because I want to make Deku smarter in this. I mean, he's always smart, but he's smarter than he usually is in anime. So it's just like, oh, and that's kind of cool. So what kind of quirk do you have? And Deku doesn't know why. He feels like that's kind of special. Because he's like, I'll tell you something, but you gotta keep your voice down. He's like, really? Like, I actually have three quirks. She's like, what? And he's like, shh, slow it down. So, oh, sorry. You have three quirks? That's amazing. Like, where are they? Like, what can they do? He explains it. It's like, wow, that's amazing. You're amazing. That kind of blushes, because he's still, well, not as embarrassed by girls anymore, because and getting attention, because people not giving it. He's still like, he feels kind of odd when a girl talks to him and calls him, like, kind of, not because they're fair attention, but when a girl calls him cute, he still gets kind of flustered. Not as much, but still a little bit flustered. And he's like, "Oh," he checks his like, "Oh, thanks. I don't think I'm that special, but where's your quirk?" She explains her quirk, and all that. And he's like, oh, that's kind of cool actually. That means you'll be able to fly someday. Technically, she's like, you think so? I'm like, yeah, I think you can if you practice on this. So yeah, like they say they want to be here, and she wants to go to UA. It's like me too. And she explained that, she knows that older than like maybe we'll see each other there at UA someday. It's like maybe we will. And they talk, it's the end of recess, and they leave. They part ways. And Deku stays after school because he stays after school. Because he starts to train his body. He knows because he has to train his body because he knows his asthma has backlashes. If his body not preference, so he does work. It's not like big workouts, but it's like he does like 50 push-ups, sit-ups, and he does like a light jog around the school, and so he's not like his body is like not defined, but he's kind of marked up for a kid his age. And he starts to head home because the sun starts to set down, and so he starts to go home, and that's when he hears an explosion. He's like a few blocks away from it when he hears an explosion. It's like what? And this is the part where often one gets his scar, his face scarred up, and the fight between All Might and Off, and they're going at him. He's like, "Oh, for what? I will stop." He was like, Toshinori, how are you? And they start fighting, and All Might is right now he's not thinking straight. Or like he's like fighting with emotion. Emotion is clouding his mind, and he starts to he starts going wild. He's not really thinking where he's going. And he doesn't know like they're going through buildings. Like most of these buildings are empty, but he's heading to this one building, which is like where these apartments. And people start running away, but Inko is actually has some music on, and she's cleaning, so she doesn't really hear it. And Dago starts to run like to go see what's going on, and like if his mom got out when All My punches off one through the building, and then it creates a big not explosion but like tornado wind he does, and so it destroys the whole building. And, like awful. He gets sent flying, and he notices All My and this guy, and it's like, what? All Might's flying that building. Whoa, that's kind of. And then he was wait, wow. He starts to go like, and he goes, and he sees like the whole building is crumbling down, and he starts to move. He usually hasn't been quick to start pushing stuff away. He's like, Mom, where are you, Mom? He's using his earth powers like to move the stuff with the earth, and he finally like finds her body. He's like, Mom, and she's in her last breath. She's like, Izuku. It's like my little boy. He's like, Mom, come on, we need to take you to the hospital. She's like, no, Izuku. I'm sorry, I'm gonna leave you this way. Like, his sister's like, Mom, you can't do this. You can't leave me. I'll be alone without you. She's like, I know you'll be a great hero, Izuku. Please don't give up hope. It's like, Mom, no. Just know that I'll always be proud and love you. And she passes away. He's like, Mom, wake up, Mom. He starts to cry, and it starts to rain. Saying, Mom, no. Mom, please. He's like, he in his perspective, like, it's like, why everybody my mom? And he sees a few bodies there too, like there's innocent people who died, all because oh my that man. Because usually he could tell that All Might fights, but usually he fights and he's careful, but this time he wasn't. It's like All Might wasn't. What? Who was that guy? And he's like, it's because of him. all my and my mom's and many people are gone. He starts like he took his like, what has this world become? What? He shook his head. Oh, this is what like heroes don't. Now he remembers like he starts to think that most heroes do like cause chaos, and they when they say sorry, like are they? Because they don't really they just say sorry and they don't do anything to help. And he's like this so hero society is it all wrong? Maybe I shouldn't be a hero. He's like no, I want to be a hero, but I need to make this one a better pace. And because he's smart, so he thinks about all the villains. Like all these villains aren't as evil as they probably seem. They all have backstories. Like he's like, it's funny. Most of this society doesn't think how the other person feels. Doesn't understand what they go through. So like, I will be the hero. I am going to be a hero. And I'm going to change this world. I'm going to bring peace, true peace to this world, where everybody can be happy. It's like, but for now, what am I going to do? I don't want to go to an orphanage. And I don't want to stay with Aunt Misky and Pago. I can't. So he runs away. So for the next 2 years, Deku does petty crime. Like whenever petty, like he steals food, like small snacks. So keep fed. That's pretty much it. He just he sneaks into houses, takes showers real quick. And he steals clothes, but if it ever makes money, he takes the money back. He just leaves it like there for them. So he's around, and he. One of those days, he's being chased by some very bad people that are trying to, hurt him. And, he uses his quirk, Like, as soon as he was about to get stabbed, he uses his quirk. And, he says he can't get touched. And they're like, what can we touch? It's like, oh, simple. Oh, and by the way, this is how his hair turned black now, his eyes have turned red. And that's due to the elemental quirk. And his eyes have turned red because the elemental quirk like started changing his hair color, and also with depression and being feeling guilty, like with the being depressed, like somehow it made his hair turn black, kind of like Kaneki, his hair turned white, except his hair turned black, and he's like. And he starts whooping all of them, but because he just goes to the library, learn some stuff, so he knows some martial art. He see and then when he goes to the library, he goes to look up fighting videos, and when he goes to like martial art things, so he just sits and spectates and learns from it, and whatever he learns, like he could very like from memory he could learn things. So he practices on his own. He starts learning how to fight. Create weapons, all of that, and there's a man who looks at him. He's seeing him from Deku afar, and he's like, huh, interesting. It's like maybe, and he's like, who are you? And he turns out, and he's like, who are you? He's like, who are you? I'm not here to hurt you. I'm not here to hurt you. He's like, what's your name, kid? It's like, I don't know. I should be giving you my name. He's like, I'm Kai Chisaki. Now I give you my name. It's like Izuki Minoru. And he heard that name before, and he remembers the news, like the missing kid and all that. Like, so he kind of knows what happened. It's like, you're the kid that's missing. There, but what do you want? You're gonna take me to? He's like, no, no, no. Like, I know what happened to your kid. And then he's like your mother got is no longer with you because of the what a hero and a villain did, what All Might did. It's like, yeah, what about it? It's like, I want you to join me. Join you. Why should I join you? It's like, I have a goal. I want to create a true peace in this world. So everybody can be in a society where everybody is at peace. Because he knows, like, he can't, like, we can tell that kid is not bad. So he knows that he can't really tell him he's true, at least not yet. So, he kind of treated like, I want to create peace in this world and I want to unite everybody so there's no one, So Deku joins. And, Deku becomes his, like, main bodyguard. And becomes his main bodyguard and, starts to, like, trade. He starts killing off other people. And he asks, what should I do? Like, these people are very, like, are the only way, like, we have to get rid of them because we need them in this society. But isn't that making it worse? It's like, Deku, in order to create peace, you have to get blood in your hands. So, he's like, fine. And, that's when, there was this time Aries has him and, like, over this time, so it's been, 3 years, in these 3 years, Aries been with them now, so he meets Aries, and all that, and he doesn't like how Overhaul got treated, and they get into a bunch of fights, and Overhaul proposes an idea. He's like, I'll treat it, make it less painful, and all that. If you, first of all, you shouldn't get him on, but how about this? I'll propose it to you, right? You do your job like you're supposed to, and I'll keep her safe and sound, and I'll make the process less painful for her. But if you ever dare to cross me, I'll make sure it hurts her. And Deku just nods and says, okay. So, so that's when Deku started to like, yeah, I can't. No. So, he's thinking about it. He thinks and he hears Overhaul's true intentions, how he wants to get everybody's quirk, and so the Yakuza can take over once again. And Deku's like, huh. So that's what your true goal was. I need to escape, but what I can do is just, I need to make sure I can escape without making sure her area won't be hurt. So, that's when he's 13 now, so, and Aries is, what, 3? So, no, 3? Yeah, 3. She is 3 years old, so we're at time skip, and 3, 4, my bad, she's 4 years old, and Deku's 13, and she kind of sees Deku as a dad, like, because she takes care of them, she does call him dad. It's like, what did it hurt me? Like, I don't know, but I promise you, like, it won't last too long. Okay, you just gotta stay strong. Cause Deku doesn't really show emotion to anyone, like not to Overhaul, not to nobody except Eri. He smiles, he laughs with her. He acts like normal Deku would with Eri, but with everybody else, he just acts emotion in this, cause that's who he is. And so we're gonna time skip 2 years now. Deku's about to be 15, and almost 2 years. So Deku's about to be 15. So this is like during the turn-month time skip for so they can be heroes. So they can join UA, and it's like, and Overhaul, like, kind of trusts Deku, not fully, but So he leaves. He goes to do with mission, and he leaves Deku this time alone. Like, I don't, I'm gonna go and do some of this stuff. You stay here. How about you get a day off? No, because Deku has gained his Overhaul's confidence. And, you didn't know Deku just nods. And he leaves. And, this time, this is like it's now or never. So he waits for like an hour or two. Because, he knows Overhaul's going to be important for a while. And that's when, he goes to the shadows and starts, he sneaks out basically with Eri. And, like, well, he tries to take out, but, then some guys caught him. He created a big commotion. But, Eri's overall safe because he's stronger than all of them now. And with the thing with the Infinity, he could surround, like, if someone else is with him, like, they get protected by it. So, he knows she won't get hurt. And so, he's running around. And, during that time, when, like, he skates outside, there's someone else, this pro hero, who wears a scarf, he's kind of skinny, he has like long hair, and kind of looks sleep deprived. He's patrolling the city. And when he hears, like, he goes to it, what's going on? He sees a kid running away with a bunch of cars. He's like, what is this facility? Deku, he texts, takes them out, and when takes, they're gone, forget. And Deku, Eri's asleep from this, because he, Wakanda asleep. She woke up right now. She's like, where are we? Like, don't worry, I told you I was gonna get you out of here. And and then he gets stopped. He's like, wait, right there. He turns around. He's like, who are you? He's like, stop right there. What are you doing with that girl? And he sees Overhaul. He's like, we gotta get her now, but now, just follow me. I'll explain everything. They stop. And like, do you have anywhere I could go? Like I'll explain everything. Like, just please. And he's like, follow me. They go to UA. And Overhaul calls Nezu. It's like it's starting to get morning now. So they were gone so it's morning now, and Overhaul. Aizawa was like, okay, kid, explain now. And Nezu, I was like, hi, nice to meet you. Like, can you explain what's going on? Like, what are we running away? And we're gonna, he explains everything, like from his childhood, and like, kind of tells him when, like, how he joined, like he was raw, blah blah blah, and like, what would a kid like you join him? And then he kind of explained, and then we like see the missing kids, like, oh, so you're Izuku. He's like, yeah, and who's this? And Eri is scared of them, right? Because he don't trust anybody but Deku. And he's like, oh, this is kind of like my adopted daughter. Her name is Eri. Eri Midoriya. He gives her the name. He's like, and yeah, he explains her story. He's like, and you're allowed this. Like, I can't really do too much because she would keep her away from me unless someone was there with me. So I can't really do too much until like to now that I just needed to plan and make sure. Like when I got his confidence, I could live with her safely, or as safely as I could. So they talk a bit more. So we're gonna switch point of views to Overhaul. Overhaul is coming back. And he sees, and like he sees the facility, and he sees like it's a bunch of colors. Like, just get out of here. He has like he's not stupid, so most like all the workers erased, and they ran away. They erased, and they call Overhaul like, oh, that's and he gets mad. He's like, ah, he's and everybody his team is like, are you okay, sir? He's like, that kid. They what? Izuku. He betrayed me, and he took Eri. Now they still have a few bullets. Like, they have a bullet, so they'll be okay. It's like, damn it. He's gonna pay for betraying me. Izuku, just you wait. By the time that you will, I will dispose of you and get Eri back. He's like, let's get out of here and let's find somewhere else we can recruit. Now, we're gonna switch. And after the type, and then he tells Midori, he's like, I'll be honest with you, kid. we should turn you into the police. Like, you know, because the detective came, and then the detective and him and this Tyler, we should take you to juvenile for this, because you've done a lot of bad stuff. But this is like, I have a position for you. It was like, you join my school, you join here with Ari. I'll let you stay with Ari, because she seems to care a lot about you, and it seems like you care a lot about her. Like, we'll have a room for you here in the academy, because, you know, usually by, so they do this year, so what they do, so they're gonna have the dorms. They like recently we started doing dorms for the first time in a year. So you can stay here with Ari, and you join my school, and you become a hero. And by that you'll be forgiven your debts, and all of that. And you know, they could think about it. She's like, yeah, I'll do it. And he does it because he wants to stay her, but also he doesn't want to be separated away from Mary. So he's like, yeah, I'll do it. I'll join. So you know, he signs the papers, and technically, he Nezu has custody over both of them. Well, Nezu is like right now has custody, like he overwatches Deku, so you know, eventually Nezu will become like a father figure to Deku and a grandpa figure to Eri. So you know, Deku, is like, okay. You know, he smiles. He's like, no, he doesn't smile, but he's kind of like you know, he enters his room, and you know, Eri is like, it's a big bedroom, and you know, and they did buy some clothes. Like it's nighttime now. They did buy clothes for Eri. You know, they got midnight to you know wash Eri and change her, and you know all that. And, you know, he lays her down, and you know, he's like, oh, she made it so good. No. And they say hi, and you know they talk for a bit. You know, he gets to know midnight, and he still has he has stuff with him. He has his, like his hero pro book and all that stuff. He has his he has a katana. It's a black katana, well, black hill katana with a hint of gold, and the blade is gold. So he's like, and you know he puts it up. You know, he changes into like his pajamas he bought, and he lays down. You know, Eris creeps close to him because you know she does begin in nightmares, and you know, so she only seems peaceful with him when she's with him, and so yeah, you know he wakes up. So we're gonna time skip to 10 months, you know, because he was like during the halfway the mark point. So 5 months later, you know, he leaves Eri with in the like with all the teachers and you know she's more talkative now, cause like with some of the teachers she's still kind of shy with new people, but like she's okay with Nezu, so you know she's sitting next to Nezu and Aizawa, cause you know Aizawa became her uncle figure, and you know she's sitting there, you know they can have her snakes for it, and that's where they're waiting, and you know so Izuku just like he goes into the he looks in front of you know because he's waiting by the like in front of everybody, you know. He looks outside the window. And he's inside, you know, and waiting for everybody to arrive. I know people still to arrive, but you know, that's when he looks at the window. He's like, no, he's like, I don't think I was gonna become a hero this way. You know, I thought I was just happy life, but maybe it's probably for the best. Maybe I needed to see this darkness in order to make this world better. He's like, I will become, I will change this world so it can be peaceful for everyone, and everybody can finally be at peace. And Overhaul, I will stop you. And here is the man in the suit, and you man in the suit don't know who you are, but I will stop you as well. And I'm gonna leave it off here. That's, as you can tell, the shape will be Nejire. Because I thought about it, I'm like, who could break the kundere out of like, because it is basically, it doesn't know that he likes emotion, he doesn't show emotion, and he's very cold towards everybody. Like even Nezu right now, like he does show like he does smile a little bit more with Dezu, but he doesn't really to show much emotion. You know, he has a small smile, you know, but he's not like how he acts around Eri. Because they could tell when he's like when they see him with Eri, they see him smiling, laughing, making jokes. So they could tell deep down he's actually a good kid. That's why they helped him. But like they know like he's been through a lot, so that's why he's like has this shield around him. And you know, he hasn't met Oma yet, so like I don't know how that interaction with him and Deku will be. And yeah, so yeah, this and so when I thought about like who could break his code, I feel like Nejire will probably be the one to do it because you know he's all hyperactive and like no matter like you could probably find it annoying, but at the same time you find it like endearing. So that's why I said like she's probably the only one who could break through it. Everybody else would like if they get it, I feel like everybody else who would get the cold shoulder, they would just give up. I feel like Nejire is like that stubborn type of person to just like he will talk to me, and he will you know that's how I see it personally. So that's the ship. Nejire X Deku, and yeah. Also, who should get one for all? Let me know in the comments. We should get one for all. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'm gonna do the fairy tale one in a few days. It's gonna be probably like an hour long because you know fairy tale is a long anime. It's basically finished, so I could do it. So yeah, mainly because the reason I'm taking long for that fairy tale one is because like I even though I know a lot about fairy tale, and I finished the whole series. Like I'm rewatching it so I can kind of how I can put Deku in it. You know. And I figure out who the ship's gonna be, or the ships. Hint, hint. But yeah. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Again, comment down below who should get one for all in this what if. Thank y'all for watching. Your boy cares about y'all. I appreciate y'all, even though I don't upload much. I don't show them. I do appreciate y'all. Like I mean, we're like I don't know how many subscribers we are. I don't really check to be honest. So, but I appreciate y'all. I hope you enjoy. Your boy is out.